So yesterday, we started discussing the creative solution or problem-solving concept called first principles, sometimes called reasoning from first principles. So the idea is to break down complicated problems into basic elements, and then reassemble them from the ground up to solve problems or discover your breakthrough. A first principle is a basic assumption that cannot be deduced down any further. It goes down to its basic core element. Over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle defined a first principle as, quote, the first basis from which a thing is known, end quote. First principles thinking is a fancy way of saying, think like a scientist, okay? Scientists don't assume anything. They start with questions like, what are we absolutely sure is true? What has been proven? In theory, first principles thinking requires that you dig deeper and then deeper still until you are left with only the foundational truths of a situation. What do we know to be absolutely true? What are the rules or the laws that govern this? And then build back up from there. So, how do you get the first principles, the first basis from which a thing is known? Foundational and absolute truths. Well, one way is called the 5 whys. The 5 whys is one of the most popular techniques to understand the cause and effect relationships in a problem. It is a great tool for figuring out the root cause. It works by asking why up to 5 times in order to drill down into the real issue or cause. So the 5 why technique was first popularized by the founder of Toyota Motor Corporation in order to help fix problems that they had with their machines and manufacturing process. The 5 why technique can be used to arrive at any one of the causes, including a final, formal, material, or efficient causes. So let's say that you want to solve a problem. Why a watch made for the youth is not selling well. Here's the 5 why analysis, which will help identify different causes. And you keep asking why until you get down to the first principal cause. Sometimes it takes 5 whys, sometimes less. As I go through this example, okay, notice how many assumptions would have been made after only the first couple of answers to why, and where most people would have stopped without digging deeper, and how you might have made poor decisions about your marketing, distribution, or manufacturing, or decisions that would have been ineffective if not devastating. Okay, the first why isn't this watch selling? The answer? Well, because the price of the watch is higher than the competitive products in the market. The second why is our price so high? Well, because the manufacturing cost is high, which is why we have to price it so high. The third why is our manufacturing cost so high? Well, because one of the materials that we use in the manufacturing process has disproportionately skyrocketed, which is why our manufacturing costs are so high, which is why we have to price it so high, which is why it's not selling. The fourth why is that material so expensive? The answer, because that particular material is imported from a remote supplier, which is why the materials cost so much, causing our manufacturing costs to be high, forcing us to price the watch too high, so that's why it's not selling and we're losing money, and the board is asking for us to reduce staff and cut their pay. But now you have the first principal cause. You can start solving at the actual source of the problem. A, you can find similar materials from a local supplier. B, you can buy the basic raw material and manufacture the material in-house. C, you can get into a long-term partnership with remote suppliers to achieve savings, etc. And then voila, problem solved, staff and financial future saved. Understand this. Ironically, often the best way to develop cutting-edge ideas is to start by breaking things down to their most basic fundamentals. Even if you aren't trying to develop innovative ideas, understanding the first principles of anything that you're trying to master is a smart and savvy use of your time and attention. Without a firm grasp of the basics, of the fundamentals, there's little chance of mastering the details. And it will be the details that make all the difference, particularly at elite levels of competition. Speaking of which, tomorrow I will explain how the best coaches in the world, the best leaders in the world, how they use first principle strategies to dominate their sports and their markets. I'm talking about the likes of John Wooden and Coach K, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Vince Lombardi, Bill Belichick, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Sam Walton, and Indra Nooyi. Be sure that you're back for that and tell us, what is a current problem or creative solution that you are pursuing, which you will take through now the 5 why exercise. Share that with us in the comments below.